continuing with lesson 4, we still need to bring in 2 files before we get started with working with bins. So there are several different ways that you can bring files in. Here is one of them. So you go to File, Import, and then we want to search for the files that they're asking for. So Lessons, Assets, Video and Audio Files, and then it was General Views, and they want us to bring in the Seattle skyline. So choose that one, say Open, and we're going to repeat the process one more time. We're going to go to Import, and then Lessons, Assets, Video, and Audio Files. However, we don't need General Views, so you could click up here to bring us back one folder. And then we're going to come up here to Basketball, and we're going to choose Under the Basket. So say Open. Both of these files have now been added to our column. We can sort A to Z, so they're in alphabetical order. Okay, the book is going to step us through a lot of different ways to create bins, and there's more than just one or two. Basically, try to remember at least one of them. So as you move along in your editing skills, you'll have this knowledge available to you, but I am going to demonstrate a multitude of different ways to make the bins. And when I say bins, it's these little folder looking guys right here in our project panel. So make sure your project panel is the area that you're working in. You can expand it just like I did if you need to see more space, or it could be little down here on the left side. Come down here at the bottom of the project panel, and there is a folder that looks like that bin. So go ahead and click that. When you first click it, it will generate a bin, and it will say bin, which is highlighted. It is already prompting us to type a new name. You should type names right after you make the bin so you don't get behind or confused to what you're doing. So the first one we're going to name is Theft Unexpected. This is in your book, so just make sure you check on your spelling, and once you're done, you can hit return or enter on your keyboard, and that has moved us off that bin, and we could have renamed stuff going down the list, but there's our first one. As you saw, we just came down here and clicked for that. The next one, you can come up to File. So these are all just different ways to make bins. You're going to go to New, and then you're going to come down to Bin. And again, we get another bin right here, and this time it wants us to name it Graphics. And hit enter or return, or you can click off of it just like that. It's going to have us make a third bin in your blank space in your project panel. This is another way to do it. You right click and you go New Bin. This one they want us to call Illustrator Files. That's bin number 3. All right. So a fourth way to do a bin creation is take the clip that you actually need. So we're going to grab Seattle skyline and drag it down here to the new bin button. So we're going to let go. And that did 2 things. It's going to allow us to rename our new bin, which we are going to call City Views. And it already has sorted one of our clips into that option. So that's actually a pretty nice thing. Notice that you have this drop down arrow. When you close it, you can't see the clip, so it's keeping your project panel a little bit more organized. When I click it again, you can see it, everything that's in that folder. All right, so the next thing it wants us to do is use the shortcut key. So make sure the project panel is engaged, and then it's going to be Command B on a Mac or Control B on a PC. And there is another bin for us. And this one they want us to name Sequence. So we now have that bin. All right, once you've created all the bins that you need, and hopefully you found one of those ways that you're like, oh, this is the easiest for me, this is the way I'm going to do it, and at least remember the one. I know there was a bunch there. All right, so it wants us to put our Bright Love clip, it's this Bright Love film logo, into the Illustrator bin. So you highlight it, just one left click to hold it, to drag it, and just hover over the name and let go. Now that clip is in that folder. And it's going to have us do a bunch more of these. So the theft unexpected PNG wants us to put it into the graphics bin. So we'll move that one up there. And then under basket, we have here, it wants to go to city view. And then our first sequence. So remember, sequence icons look a little different. This one goes to our sequence bin. Right there. And then it says drag all remaining clips into the theft unexpected bin. So I'm going to go ahead and close up some of these other ones so it's a little bit easier to see. And then you can move all of them at one time, or you can move one at a time, or you can move a section of them. I'm going to probably just grab some sections. So if I left click on one, highlight it, come and hold shift and left click a second time, I've now selected 3 clips. I could also add control to pick up an additional clip. So I could do them all at once, or I could do little chunks of them. And we're going to move these to the theft unexpected bin. And I'm not done. So like I said, you could do one, or you can do a group. But basically you want to add all the ones that didn't end up in bins into this remaining bin. So we've now cleaned up our project panel. It's looking really nice. And I've talked about the disclosure triangles. It wants us to use it on the graphics bin to display the content. So we'll click that one open. And then it wants us to right click. So highlight this one with a left click and then right click on it and choose copy. So copies towards the top of your menu here. And then it's going to have us open the disclosure triangle for the theft unexpected bin. This one right here to display the contents. And then you want to right click the theft unexpected bin. So to select it, you can also right click like that and the panel comes up, choose paste. So now we've actually made a second copy. So we've copied this one to there. It still exists in graphics, but it's also up here as well. So that's one way to organize your bin area. And we will continue with some more in the next video.